Hey guys, here's the video I promised you on how to add the data into the Hudl system. We're going to be using the Hudl.com online system to do our data entry. The project we're working on is we're going to do some analysis, off-season analysis on how we did with our pass defense. So the best thing to do for that is grab, of course, all of our clips throughout the year of every single time someone threw against us, and we can just analyze, what we did well, what we didn't do well, and then of course adjust things and make it a little bit better for next year, hopefully. So here's the way it works. What you're going to want to do is I'll probably hand out 2 games to each person, so you can get into it, and you'll go through each of the clips. You obviously log into the Hudl system, and you'll get this basic library area. You'll open up your game. We'll use, say, the New Bedford game. If you click on that, as you can see, it comes up with your game footage, your practice, your opponent scout. We're going right to the game footage. It will now load. As you can see, each one of these rows, right now I have a filter on this. Let me get rid of that filter. Each one of these rows is a play. And you can see, you open up the game, the first play here is a kickoff, and then of course the next play. That's how the whole system works, is based on each row being a play. What we're going to want to do is, for this project, is we're going to add ODK information. That means offense, defense, or kicking. That's really the most basic information you can add. And then we'll have play type, and I'll go over what that means, but for us it's going to be a run or a pass. Result just means, again, for this project, it's going to mean, was it complete, was it incomplete, was it intercepted, was there a sack, was there a scramble? There's really 5 values. Gain loss is pretty self-explanatory. It's a numeric value just to put in there to say, what was the gain. And then the last one is the pass zone. The pass zone, it's pretty straightforward, but you kind of have to think of it from the quarterback's perspective. If you think of it that way, then we'll all be on the same page. Number 1 is the left flat, and we're just numbering zones. So the left flat zone up to about, say, 10 yards, we'll consider that 1. 2 is the middle zone, the middle third of the field, up to about 10 yards. 3 is the right flat, and then we go back over to 4 would be that curl area, maybe that comeback area, over 10 yards to the left, and then kind of that middle of the field area, again, would be, of course, 6, 7 on the other side. Then we go deep outside to the left is 8, 7, deep middle is 8, and deep outside to the right is 9. So it's, from the quarterback's perspective, 1 through 9. That's how the zones work. Just a simple way to kind of standardize it so we can all be on the same page. So let me get right into how this is going to work, and how we're going to add the data. Obviously you could have gone through and it's good to look at their tutorials, but I've just found that there's ways to get right into it, and your learning curve will be a little quicker if I kind of give you a few tips. The first thing you might notice here is that these columns here, and of course each field has its own column, just like a spreadsheet. They're probably in a different order. I'll shoot you when I send out the email. I'll shoot you a link to see what that's all about. That's called a view. It's as simple as it is. You're editing your view. Right here, there's a little button called Edit View, and what that does is let me click on it, and I'll kind of show you how simple it is. Here's all the available columns all over here that are in the system, and here are all the display columns. And what you do is you just drag and drop them from the left over to the right, or you use these buttons to do it, and you can make a view anything you'd like. I have different views that I use. I'll show you here. You click down here, you can see all the different views. I have obviously two basic views. I have a practice view, which I put certain things in for a practice video, like the player's name, so I can review it with them. I have a very general view, and then this new one I just made, which is called defensive pass view. And all I did with that is I just made sure that the first columns in my view, ODK, play tape result, gain loss, and pass zone, are all in the beginning, all to the left, so I can see them right in my screen. That's all that is. And again, I'll shoot that over. You then can, of course, after you make your own custom view, just go down here and type in whatever you want to call it, hit save, and then it'll end up being in this pull down here, and you can have as many views as you'd like. It's a nice little feature. But there's obviously pretty standard ways you want to do it. So that's why it looks like that. So let's get right into the actual editing of data. The first thing you're going to want to do is, most games are ODK'd already, you'll see. But if it's not, I'd suggest you go through the full game. They're usually like 120 to 150 clips in a game. Go through each one, and you put in O for an offense, D for defense, and K for kicking game. And then sometimes if there's like pictures of like say the clock, or just kind of miscellaneous clips, you'll want to use an S there. You'll see that it's just the pull down. Let me go to the edit data. So I'm going to go here and click edit data. What you'll see is that it turns red here. So that kind of shows you now that you're in kind of that edit mode. So that way I can kind of show you as I click on them what are all the values that are in there. And you can see that's all it is ODK and S. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, if you do have, if it is already ODK'd, is go here and filter on it, because we're talking about defense. So let's just grab all our defense, so we'll just don't have to deal with so many clips. We'll go right there, and then we can close it there. And you can see that we went from 130 down to just 65 clips. Split it in half, which makes about sense. Now what we're going to do is we have all the defensive plays, and now we're going to continue to edit. You'll see that when I did that filter, it turned from red to orange. So that means that I'm not in edit mode anymore. So if you do jump out of modes, that color is there to show you. So if I go to click on any of these columns here, nothing happens. I'm kind of clicking here. But if I go back here and hit edit data, you'll see it turns red again. So now when I click on these columns, you're going to see it jumps right down to the actual play automatically without playing it, and then you'll see all the different play types. So here we have simply, obviously it's a pass play. So you can go through here and just pick it up here and just hit pass, or you can actually type P on the keyboard, which is kind of nice, especially when you have big, like this one, gain loss. It gives you obviously -100, which would be quite a loss, to all the way up to 100, and that's kind of a pain in the neck. So what you want to do is use your keyboard. It'll kind of jump you right to where you want to go. So I kind of use my mouse with my right hand and click over, and I'll use the keyboard to kind of add in values here. So that's obviously just a 0 anyway. I don't even have to put a value because it's an interception. But if I wanted to put in something else there, I would just type in, say, 5, and it'll bring up all the 5s. And then I can just kind of either go on or click from all the 5s if it was like a 5-yard gain, for example. Okay, so just make sure you use the keyboard too. It makes it easier to jump through. I can't stand pull downs. So anyway, let's go back to result. Obviously the result on this play, and it's going to keep looping. Again, that's one of the things kind of another basic thing that probably should show you here if you haven't used it. But if you click over here on menu, you'll see that there's it's called repeat clip when it's the circles with the 1 over it. You can change that mode. You can have it when you click it again, it'll just show the arrow circling around. That means it's going to continue on from clip to clip. You click it one more time. The third option is it just plays it once and stops. So by far the best one, and I always just keep it on 1 with a circle. So if it gets to the end, it just is going to loop through, especially of course if you're doing any kind of data entry. Okay, so we would go back to result. I click on it. It was obviously an interception. Great. There really is no gain, so let me get that out of there. It has really how it works. Pass zone. It looks like if we kind of follow it through, again, I'll click on it here. We'll find a good spot where I can figure it out. It's a fake. He's running. That looks like a deep post. So that would be, you'd go 1, 2, 3. Nope, and that's 4, 5. So I'd say that's about the 5 zone. So again, I'll go over here and I'll just type in 5. Oh, the wrong one. 5. There it is. And that's really it. And then all I have to do is just click down here to the next one. Okay, what's this play? That's a mistake. For some reason, the ODK has that as so whoever ODK'd this, and it was probably me, put it in incorrectly. This is not obviously not an offensive play. So what we'll do, I mean a defensive play, we'll put an O there and get rid of play 9. So the next one here, now we're going down here. That might happen. There might be mistakes in that, so you can always just go back and change it. See how I just put in an O there. So this is D. That was obviously a run. I click in here, press R. Good thing about run pass is they're the only R or P values in the pull down, so it jumps right to it. We don't have to worry about anything else there if it's a run. All we're trying to work on here are the pass plays. So we click down, we're going to go to the next one. Okay, this looks like a pass, so we'll put P there. It's completed to obviously the result is a completion. Hit C and it brings up complete. Then I click over here, and what did that look like? About a 5-yard gain. Looks like, yeah, 4, about a 4-yard gain. We'll give them a 4. We'll just put 4 there. The pass zone is obviously the 1 zone, the left flat, which we'll see a lot of, I think. The left and right flats. But anyway, that's how it works. Now you just click down, go to the next one. So this is as simple as it is. You're just going to go through each one, and that's all we're really trying to add in here, is go through all the defensive plays. Oh, there's a play right there. That's obviously that we don't want that to be a D, so that's a non-play, so we're going to change that to an S. We'll go to the next one. Looks like we got trips open here. Probably will be a pass on 3rd down. Yep, and of course. Okay, so we have P for pass. Go here, we have C for complete. I'm not sure what the gain was. I'll go back here. It looks like, what are they on, the 30-yard line? Maybe the 31. We'll say 30. Catches it at the 30, obviously, and he gains too much. But he gains about 13 yards. Okay, so we go here, and I just type in 13. I don't even bother using the pull down. The pass zone was obviously the 3 zone. It's the right flat, so we just do 3. And then we move on. And this is about it. And this is what you'll do is go through all of this for the full game. It'll take a few minutes, and I guess that's the whole deal here. Is one of the great things about this Hudl system. In the past, I've gone through by myself, or any of you guys that have worked with these kind of systems. It's time consuming. It really is. So the more we can share the workload and have some good coordination, the better it'll be for all of us. So this is the first one we'll do to kind of get everyone into it. But even when the season comes, we really want to make sure that everyone has a hand in entering the data. It really is a great thing about Hudl. All the other systems, you generally get 1 or 2 licenses. It's unlimited with Hudl, so every single coach can get it, and it's all online. So this is literally updating right up to the web server, so it's immediately available for anyone who's online. You just have to refresh your screen, or the way to really refresh your screen is just unclick or unclick the game, and it'll pop anything up that's been added. So that's about it. I'll add in, like I said, the link to how to deal with views, the Hudl's little tutorial on how to do views. And I'll, of course, tell you guys which games I want you to do. Hopefully we can get this done pretty quick. We can get right into it in a couple of days so we can move on and finish up our analysis here. So that's about it. Of course, I'll follow up with an email, obviously, to stop editing here. Last thing is just hit stop editing, and you'll see it goes out of red and goes back. Okay, that's about it.